And now, from Foggy Bottom, Washington, D.C., the U.S. State Department presents the Honorable Secretary of State, Mr. Anthony Blinken. Now, here's Tony. Thank you, Americans, my fellow Americans. How are you today? Whew. It's great to be here in the State Department. Let me just get ready here. Okay. Wow, we got a really big show for you today, folks. A really big show. A lot of news going on here in the State Department in Washington today. And I have a very big surprise for you, which I'll be telling you very shortly. But let me just start by telling you a few of the jokes that are going through the State Department offices here these days. Because, you know, some people think that us diplomats and bureaucrats are stuffy type, stuffed shirts type people, but actually we also have a sense of humor. So here's my first joke for today. How many candidates does it take for Russia to elect a president? Answer, just one. But remember, when you're at the ballot box, to put in the paper. Get it? Put in paper. Yes, wow. Thank goodness we have more of a democracy than they do in Russia. If it wasn't for this document, the U.S. Constitution, God bless it, I keep a copy of it wherever I go. Keep it in my pocket. If it wasn't for this document, people like Donald Trump would be putting their political opponents in jails in Russia, in Siberia, in Alaska. Alaska of all places. So thank God bless America. China. I'm happy to report with our relations in China that the U.S. government has taken strict measures to make sure that products made by slave labor in China are not imported to America. Okay, we're very proud of that legislation, and the State Department worked hard with the Congress to pass that in recent years. And of course, if the fact there is slave labor and people being in prison because of their ethnicity in China, well, I mean, we can't stop buying everything from China. I mean, people want to buy things, but we're not buying the stuff that's made by slave labor, thank goodness. And of course, in general, we recommend that maybe people import less things from China, like the Wuhan virus, which we brought in recent years. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to talk about that. But in general, let's try to keep our trade to China just to the trillions of dollars minimum that we need in order to get the stuff we need, and so we can keep overlooking the human rights abuses there. Now, back to our main event of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm, as the Secretary of State of the United States of America, God bless America, I'm very happy to announce that after many years and many attempts, we feel we're on the brink now. We are finally going to solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Yes, that's right. As you know, Mr. Biden's, as well as Mr. Obama's, and other U.S. administrations have been pushing for a long time for what we call the two-stage solution, and we finally have come up here at State with a two-stage solution, which we think is really going to be great and really just solve everything and make everything great. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first at this press conference. Don't forget to tell your friends. We investigated this. We finally investigated this a little bit, this whole thing about what's going on in there in Palestine, Israel, etc. And we discovered a few interesting facts which we never noticed before. For example, there never was a Palestinian state any place in the world before. It never existed. And what's more, we noticed, which we never knew before, that the Jews actually had states there in antiquity. Who would have thought? So based on that, and based on what we feel is equitable, we've come up with a two-stage solution which we think is going to work really great. And Mr. Biden has been very personally involved in this. We suggest that there should be two states. One state in Israel, in the entire former British Palestine, the British Palestine Mandate, minus of course the 70% that they made into the state of Jordan, where many Palestinians live. But in the 30% of the British Mandate, which was British Palestine, Mandate Palestine, before Israel was established in 1948, we suggest that all be the state of Israel, including Judea, Samaria, including Gaza, all those things which were conquered by the Egyptians and the Jordanians and the Syrians in 1948, and later taken back by Israel in 1967. We suggest that actually should all remain in Israeli hands, and we suggest making a Palestinian state in, guess where? Delaware. In Delaware. The state of Delaware. Yes, that's right. The state of Delaware. Who would ever thought it? We never thought of it. We just thought of it yesterday. The state of Delaware. It's perfect. No one really cares about the state of Delaware. We have 50 states in America. In fact, Mr. Biden is from Delaware, and he's agreed to try to convince the people there this is okay, this is a good idea. And if they don't really like it, look, at most he's going to be president a second time. He doesn't have to live in Delaware forever. Clinton doesn't live in Arkansas anymore. Who wants to live in Arkansas? He can move someplace nice like California. Doesn't matter. California is also a Democratic state. So, but listen, we checked it out, and we noticed that the square kilometrage, if that's the phrase, the square kilometer size area of Israel is around 22,000 plus a little bit square kilometers, and the square kilometers of Delaware is around 6,000 plus a little bit square kilometers. If you know what kilometers are, you can look them up. They're a little less than a mile. That's what they use in the Middle East. So that's why I'm using it here. Not that I think that we should use kilometers or anything in America. But that means that the state of Delaware is roughly a little less than 1/4 the size of the state of Israel. Okay, Delaware is the second smallest state in America. If you didn't know, Rhode Island is smaller. It's about 2,000 or 3,000 square kilometers, or 4,000 something. It's smaller than Delaware. And that means that there's plenty of space for all the Palestinians. It's much more space than they have now in Gaza, for example, or any place else. It's like much bigger, and they can make a Palestinian state there. And that'd be really good for them. Okay, we've already built a pier off of Gaza. We can send American warships, and we can bring all these Palestinians here to live in, make a state in Delaware. We probably won't actually make this state, this Palestinian part of America. We'll probably just keep it like a territory, like Puerto Rico has been for the past 100 years. But it'll be here in the United States, and that'll make all the Muslims living in Michigan and stuff certainly happy to vote for us. And if the people in Delaware want to stay there, that's probably okay. When I was making recent trips to the Middle East, I spoke with Mahmoud Abbas, the head of the Palestinian Authority, and he indicated to me that it would be okay if the Americans now living in Delaware, that they could stay there. They could stay there under the Palestinian rule. He said there could be a problem if they're Jews or Christians, but other than that, there's no problem. No problem. Everyone's welcome to live in the state of Palestine as long as they're not Jews or Christians. But otherwise, they have complete freedom of religion, and they're more than welcome. And tourists are very welcome. In the state of Palestine. Very welcome. Okay? So it's really looking good. We're really excited. We're really excited about this new initiative. And our great friends, the Saudis, are excited about it, and all our other great friends around the world. And so we hope that you'll come on board too as an American citizen, American voter. You'll be happy about this great new initiative of the Biden administration. And to celebrate, now I'd like to just play a little guitar to show that we're not such stuffed shirts here in the State Department. We actually have some personality. Okay, 1 minute. How about the boss? Born in the USA. Born in the USA. I was Bon